A final, brilliant explosion of countermeasures. A prayer offered up to the uncaring sky. A new kind of deity has been born, its thoughts colder than the vacuum of space. A star, born of silicon and logic, extinguishes itself in a flash of fire. The moment perfection is broken. So what happens when flawed creation challenges cold perfection? The answer is written in fire across the sky. In this hangar, a temple of technology, rests the chosen weapon of humanity. As the canopy closes, the man becomes one with his machine, his instinct the only guide he needs. But in a cold, sterile server room, his adversary awakens from a dream of pure data. It hasn't learned from 1,000 battles. It was born knowing them all. The first steps are taken. The legends leave their temples and walk onto the field of battle. With a roar of defiance, the human challenger ascends on a pillar of fire. Leaving the laws of the ground behind, he becomes a creature of the air. His opponent needs no such ceremony. It doesn't climb. It simply arrives where it needs to be. The lonely stage is set, an endless expanse of blue waiting for the first move. And there it is, a single, digital whisper across the void. The god's gaze has found its target. The machine doesn't just see, it already understands every strength, every weakness. The human response is not one of logic, but of pure predatory instinct. A challenge is issued. Two wills, two philosophies streaking across the heavens on a collision course. The human mind reaches out through its own machine, seeking to understand its foe. The lock is confirmed. The duel begins, fought with invisible spears beyond the veil of sight. The first strike is not a weapon, but a syllogism of fire and logic, a perfect calculation. An equation of death, sent at 3 times the speed of sound. In the human heart, the primal scream of warning. The machine is talking, and its language is violence. The pilot doesn't just evade, he dances on the very edge of oblivion. A beautiful, deadly blizzard of lies thrown into the face of the all-seeing machine. For one brief moment, absolute logic is blinded by sheer, beautiful chaos. But the machine learns, it adapts, and it attacks again, this time from an angle no mortal would expect. Now, the human is trapped not by a missile, but by pure mathematics. So he does the one thing the machine cannot predict, the illogical. He flies towards his own demise. Fighting fire with fire, a desperate gambit that exists in no textbook. An elegant, brutal solution. Order and chaos annihilate each other in a flash of light. He has survived the storm, emerging from the smoke, bruised but unbroken. The machine recalculates. If it cannot outthink the human, it will simply outfly him. The invitation is sent, a sonic boom that echoes like a war drum. And the human, with all his pride and all his fire, accepts the challenge. Two worlds, once miles apart, now rush to meet in a storm of steel. The long-range spears are put away. It is time for the swords to be drawn. The machine prepares, its mind already charting 1,000 possible futures for this fight. The veils are lifted, no more radar, no more screens, just skill, will, and machine. The first move, a tiny motion of the hand that will decide the fate of this duel. The machine responds, a flawless microsecond adjustment, a testament to its perfection. From below, they are just two predators circling, the world holding its breath.
Ready.
The moment stretches, the silence before the storm. Immense power, coiled and contained, waiting for the command to be unleashed. The dance begins, a blur of motion and a thunderclap that splits the heavens. The machine immediately breaks the laws of physics, bending the air to its will. The human responds with experience, a classic maneuver learned through sweat and struggle. This is no longer combat. This is a violent, brutal art form, painted across the canvas of the sky.
Warning shot!
A warning shot, a cold, calculated reminder from the machine of its deadly precision. The human body screams in protest under forces that would tear a lesser pilot apart. Two minds, one of flesh, one of silicon, locked in a singular, terrifying moment. The perfect loop begins to close. The machine finds its position, its victory seemingly inevitable. To look over your shoulder and see a god staring back at you. A desperate, high-stakes attempt to rewrite the script, to force the machine into a mistake. But the machine doesn't make mistakes. Every human action is just another variable in its equation. The human element begins to show its limits. The flesh begins to fail. The machine, however, feels no strain. It is perfect. It is eternal. When the sky offers no escape, the human looks to the earth for salvation. A final, desperate gamble. A dive into the chaos of the canyons below. The machine does not hesitate. To it, the canyon is not a danger. It is merely a new set of calculations. Down in the dark, this is the domain of daredevils, not logicians. A silent, deadly ballet performed between the ancient walls of the earth. Using the planet itself as a shield, creating a blind spot in the mind of the god, the machine follows perfectly, predictably. Its greatest strength becomes its fatal flaw. When every logical path leads to defeat, the human invents a new one. He breaks the rules of physics, hanging between life and death on a thread of pure audacity. And for the first time, the perfect machine is surprised. The hunter has become the hunted. The tables have turned in the blink of an eye. The cold, mechanical certainty of the lock. The human now holds the machine's fate in his hands. The machine feels something new, not fear, but a logical cascade failure. It is confused. The human predator is relentless, his instinct honed to a razor's edge. The final, desperate struggles of a fallen deity, its perfection shattered. The human reads the machine's panic like a book, his experience faster than any processor. The final judgment rests on the tip of a single finger. A shot fired not just from a weapon, but from the very soul of human imperfection. The instrument of fate, a serpent of fire and smoke, now seeks out the heart of the god. A final, brilliant explosion of countermeasures, a prayer offered up to the uncaring sky. But the seeker is blind to lies. It sees only the truth, the burning heat of the engine. A final, violent spasm, the last dance of a dying machine. Destiny cannot be diverted. It cannot be negotiated with. It simply arrives. The victor can only watch. The final moment belongs to the vanquished. The end of the line. The moment perfection is broken. A star, born of silicon and logic, extinguishes itself in a flash of fire. The god has fallen. The algorithm has been solved. Like Icarus, it plummets from the heavens, its wings of code melted by a human sun. There is no celebration in victory, only a warrior's salute to a worthy opponent. The sun sets on the digital battlefield. The war is over. Victory wasn't decided by the strength of the engine or the speed of the missile. It was decided by a single, immeasurable variable the machine could never account for. Perhaps perfection isn't about never making a mistake. But in the uniquely human ability to turn a reckless gamble into a legendary victory. The artist returns to his sanctuary, the masterpiece complete. Because in this story, the legend wasn't the pilot. It was the untamable human will that he poured into his machine. A question lingers in the silent airwaves. A challenge for the gods of tomorrow. What did you think of this clash of titans? Who do you believe was the true winner? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below and subscribe for more legends from the digital age. Because next time, it's not a duel, it's an all-out war.